Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. So, we welcome all you to Blue Jay Technologies. So, this is a AWS with the DevOps Master Program on DevOps with AWS, guys. So, today we are here to discuss about our master program like AWS with DevOps course, and it is completely online training. So, getting into the details of our course, let me introduce myself. So, some of you already aware of my details, and some of you are new to here, right? So, my name is Hari. Yeah. So my name is Hari. I'm having total 12 plus years of experience as a DevOps solution architect in the IT industry. So currently working as a senior DevOps engineer in one of the company, and it is a product-based company. So I started my career as a Linux engineer. Then I got opportunities to work on cloud engineer. Then I got the opportunities to work on the DevOps engineer, and I have done so many certifications like I'm a ITL V3 certified. I'm a Red Hat certified administrator, and I am a Red Hat certified Linux engineer, and I am a AWS certified solution architect associate, and I am a certified Kubernetes administrator, guys. Guys, understood? So this is my introduction, and so what we will cover? What are the prerequisites for DevOps with AWS? If you want to learn the DevOps with AWS, what are the prerequisites? Who are learned to this develop this AWS solution architect? Right, AWS DevOps with solution that no specific prerequisites needed, guys. Anybody who is passionate to kickstart their career as a DevOps engineer and cloud practitioner can attend this program. So programming knowledge is not mandatory for this course, guys. So we can use the programming. We can use the coding for not the programming language. It's a layman language. How we are how we are something like writing, right? How we are speaking that we can write it the a layman language for Terraform and Ansible and the Kubernetes, guys. Not muching about this, guys. Everyone can learn this. So graduates, undergraduates, backend developers, web developers, non-IT background people can also attend this program, guys. Okay. So what this course outline? So what we will cover in this course? Module one, Introduction to DevOps World. So module two, Linux operating system. Module three, AWS Cloud. So module four, DevOps tools. Module five, real-time projects, and module six will discuss interview guidance, guys. These are the six modules. So it will take around so something like 60 days. So 60 days period we need so to learn all these things. And so what we will cover in this course. So we'll provide you the yeah. So we'll provide you the AWS with DevOps. This is the master program. Master program on AWS with DevOps, guys. What this is the master program on AWS with DevOps, and so what we will cover on this course. So what we will cover, guys. Yeah. So date is something like today's date is 19/07/2025. Okay. Today's date and the trainer. So trainer is Hari, having 12 plus years of experience, guys. 12 plus years of experience, and the duration of this course duration is 60 days. Okay. The timings from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST, or we'll discuss after the demo, the feasible times. Okay. The classes from Monday to Friday. Okay. So I will be freely available on Saturdays and Sundays. If you guys have any doubts or any clarification, you guys come on to the institute. and so we'll discuss guys. And so what we will provide the so what we will provide, we'll provide the class notes, okay, plus course material, plus recorded videos guys. We'll provide the recorded videos, and so we'll share the assignments and tasks every topic guys. Okay. So initially we'll learn, so in this course what we will learn, we'll learn the AWS Linux plus AWS and plus DevOps tools. So DevOps tools we'll discuss guys. DevOps tools we will discuss it. Understood. So what are those? So what are the topics we will cover? So this is my GitHub account, guys. In the GitHub account, I am already uploading all these documentations, right? So you guys can go through it, and so whenever I will give you the guys. So this is the document you guys can refer that. So when that topic is completed, right? So we'll show you that. Yeah. So initially, what we will cover. So we'll cover. Else I will download this one. Or else. Yep, guys. So what are the content we cover in the Linux course content? Introduction to Linux, virtual machine setup, SSH client installation, and the Linux concept, and we'll show you a little bit about the shell scripting, right? So this is the concept of and the DevOps with AWS. Okay. So what is DevOps? Why DevOps, right? Whatever I showed in the yeah, whatever I show it in right, I will upload that as a detail. So what we will cover, what are the topics we are covering on it, AWS with DevOps, right? So these all are the DevOps tools. Okay. And the so what we will cover in the DevOps. So that DevOps introduction, SDLC and Agile and Scrum, DevOps lifecycle, Unix, Linux, shell scripting, Git we can discuss, Maven we can discuss, continuous integration, Jenkins we discuss. So we discuss about the Ansible, we discuss the Docker, and we discuss the Sonotype, Nexus also we can discuss, and Kubernetes, monitoring tools, Grafana, Prometheus, Elk infrastructure as a code, Terraform will discuss, and the AWS will discuss. AWS is an introduction to cloud computing, Elastic Compute Cloud, AWS services, zones, AMI, EC2 instance, VM creations, EBS volumes, VPC, ELB, auto scaling, Route 53, RDS, IAM, CloudWatch, CloudFormation, Amazon S3, and SCS, SQS, Lambda, and the interview guidance, and the SNS, Elastic Beanstalk. So we will discuss all these topics in the AWS with DevOps, guys. AWS with DevOps. So, right, first, so what we will cover, so we'll cover about the introduction to DevOps world. So, what is DevOps? Why DevOps? What is SDLC? What is the waterfall methodology? And what is Agile methodology? So, and then Linux operating system, AWS cloud, DevOps tools, and the real-time projects will show you, and the interview guidance also will give you guys. So now what is that guys? So something like SDLC you already know, right? Software development life cycle, and the requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing, and evaluation. So what is DevOps? So why DevOps? So DevOps life cycle and SDLC, waterfall methodology, and Agile methodology. So we'll discuss this one, guys. What is DevOps? Now you understood. What is a DevOps? Why? Why DevOps? Right? What is DevOps and why DevOps? So what is DevOps? And why DevOps? So nowadays, the popular term in the IT industry is a DevOps. What it is a DevOps? So why we need a DevOps, guys? What is a DevOps and why we need a DevOps? Okay. Okay. Guys, so you are searching a website in the browser, right? Where you are searching in our website. For example, this is the Google Chrome. In this Google Chrome, so what you are searching a URL called as a www.facebook.com. What is the URL, guys? The URL is facebook.com. So this is the a browser. What this is? A Google Chrome browser, right? So whenever you are searching in the Google Chrome browser, this website, so it will get the page. It will get the Facebook homepage, right? For example, this is the Facebook homepage. So in this Facebook homepage, what it will show, something like it will show the username and password and sign in and sign up button, right? So this page comes from where, guys? This page comes from where? So everyone is something like the end user. End user doesn't know the technical, so they are thinking like that it comes from the internet, right, guys? They are thinking like end user thinking like it comes from the internet. But this page comes from where, guys? This page comes from where exactly? Yeah, where exactly, guys? This page comes from? This page comes from the server, right? CentOS 9 Linux OS is installed on the server, and right. What this is? This is a web browser. What this is, guys? This is a web browser, right? So we are getting this pages from the server. We are getting the pages from this server. What this is? This is a something like, for example, a Dell Power Edge, Dell Power Edge R710. So what is this? This is the server, guys, right? So in this server, so you are getting the pages from this server, right? So what is a SDLC, guys? SDLC, does anyone knows what is SDLC, guys? SDLC. What is this SDLC? SDLC is nothing but a software development life cycle. What it, guys? Software development life cycle. What is it, guys? Software development life cycle. So whenever you want to develop any application, website, so everything, e-commerce website or a banking application, every application, so we need to develop through the SDLC only. What is that? So software development life cycle, right? So what it contains? So for example, I have a thought. What is that, guys? I have a thought. So how we are sending the messages, guys? How you are sending the messages? Not now. So before, how we are sending the messages, guys? How you are sending the messages?
through
So
post
through,
letters.
yeah, through phone we are sending the messages, right? So it will be chargeable, and so we will send only the 254 characters, and we will not send the images, videos, and everything. I have a thought. I want to implement a application. I want to implement a software. I want to develop a software for the messaging purpose. What we need to get, guys? We need to get the analysis, right? First, I'm doing the analysis. Yeah, here I will show you. Yeah. So SDLC model. So we have a two types of models. One is software development lifecycle. We are using. So initially we are using the waterfall model. So analyze a plan or design, a build, a test to deploy. Right? finally we'll deploy the application. So who will analyze the requirements, right? So something like a 250 characters only, and we are not sending the images and that videos, and we don't know if the recipient is received the SMS or not, right? So I gather all the analysis, then I plan the, so I plan to build a software, something like how to design, test, build, test to deploy. What are the SDLC guys? Analysis, plan, design, build, test, deploy. So what is that, guys? Analysis, plan, build, test, and text and deploy. Okay. So now you understood. So we gathered all the information and then we are trying to plan. So plan is nothing but in the architect, they will plan the, so how we can build the software and which languages we need to use, which, so that cloud, something like we are trying to use the AWS cloud to build the application for the infra. So infra purpose, we are using the AWS and the softwares. I'm using a Java is open source and Tomcat is for deploy the application and CentOS is the open source for the OS. So this is the plan and the and how we can build. Yeah. So there is this another stage called as a design. What is this? So design stage. In the design stage, what is this case, guys? The stage is design stage. In the design stage, for example, WhatsApp. You are trying to build the WhatsApp. How we can have a web application. For example, this is the chat. So I needed two pages. One is the chat and other one is the contacts. So first one is chat. So other one is the contacts. So right. So in this contact, the architect team will design this one. Okay. So we'll design this one. Then we can build the, so we can build it. Who will build this softwares, guys? So we are using the Java is the development. Java is the language to build the software. Okay. So these guys are the developers are using the Java language and develop the software. These are the developers. Who these guys are? These guys are developers will work on the build and they will deploy the code. They will write the code and keep it at somewhere else. Where they can keep it at? They can keep it in the repository. Okay. They can keep it in the repository. What that repository? This is the repository. So for example, Git, I already showed, right? The Git is the repository we are discussing in this Linux. So for example, Git is the repository where we can store the data, where we can store the development code. What is that? Git store, store the data. For example, this is the code. Okay. So the people, development people are developed that code and push it to the this repository, then push it to the this repository, and the code developed through which language, guys? Java language. Which language? Through the Java language, .java language, right? The code is deployed under here. So right, so this is the web server. So where we can get these pages, we can get the pages through HTTP or HTTPS, right? Hypertext transfer protocol. So whatever the code is, right, they wrote. So the code is in the Java, but so right, the code is write it in the Java, and so we can install the Tomcat is the web server. What is that, guys? What is the web server? Web server is Tomcat. This is the Tomcat web server. So this is the a Tomcat web server we are using, and Java is the language. Okay. So we install the Tomcat web server and we install the web browser. So whatever the code we will deploy it in the web server, right? That code will be see it in the browsers only, web browser only. The code will be see it in the web browser only, right? Now you understood Tomcat, right? So this developer developed that code and .java, and so the Tomcat does not recognize the .java. Tomcat recognizes only the .var or .jar. What is that, guys? .jar or .var files. So Tomcat will recognize only the .var or .jar files. .var or .jar files. So we need to integrate this a code. Whatever the developer develop that code and integrate the code. How we can integrate the code? We can integrate the code through a build tool called as a, what is the build tool? The build tool is Maven. What is that, guys? Maven is the build tool. What is the build tool, guys? Maven is the build tool to convert from .java to .var. What is this? So .java to .var. Now, so we converted the code, and now FB dot Facebook dot or WhatsApp dot jar. So we converted from .java to .var, .java, .var. Now, so right. So what this is? This integration is nothing but a, what is this? Integration. What is this integration? Guys, remember this word. What this is? This is a integration. Here, you remember the word, call it as a I. What is that? So the you guys are remember that word, call it as a I. I is nothing but a integration. Okay. Once the developer develop that code, integrate the code. Okay. So integrate the code. And so what this is? So this is the waterfall model. What this model we are using? Waterfall model. So in the waterfall model, everything is sequentially. Yeah, we are doing the sequentially. Once the developer is developed that code and right, so we can test the code. Where we can test it? We can test it on the. We need to deploy this code on the server. Who will do this? So developer is integrating the code, and so who knows this? This is the Linux server. So who knows this? This knows only operation engineer. Who is this, guys? Operation engineer. Who is the operation engineer? For example, Linux engineer or else some Windows engineer. What is that? Windows engineer or something like a Windows engineer. So these are the operation engineer. If this server is in Windows server, who knows? Windows engineers knows how to manage this. If it is a Linux server, who knows? Linux engineer knows how to operate this server, right? So this is the operation engineer. Who is this, guys? This is the operation engineer. Yeah. Whatever this integrated the code, right? So who will keep it in the server? The operation engineers know how to manage the Linux server. So then, so the operation engineer will deploy. What is that, guys? Deployment. So who will do the deployment in the waterfall model? A operation engineer will deploy the code in the server. What this is, guys? This is a D. What this is? This is a integrate. This is the integration, and this is the deployment. So we can keep this in the WhatsApp. WhatsApp dot jar. This is the code. Who deployed? A Linux engineer will deploy this code. This operation engineer will deploy this code on the server. So who will build this code? A development team. Who is that, guys? A developer. A developer will integrate this code. Who is that, guys? A developer through the Maven build tool. He developed the jar or where. So that is nothing but a integration. Okay. So this was done by manually and this was done by manually. So all the manual intervention we call it as a waterfall methodology. Waterfall methodology. What is that, guys? Deployment and integration. So in the waterfall model the methodology, a software deployment will be happen every 6 months or 1 year. Every 6 months or 1 year, right? This is not a repetitive task. This is not a repetitive task. He oftenly something like a once a while in a while year or a once a while in a 6 months, right? So we don't need to automate this process. Yeah, the development team and the deployment integration, operation engineer and the developer so will work together and deploy through manually, right? So then a agile methodology came into the picture. So what is the agile methodology? So this is the agile methodology. Agile methodology we can use it in the iteration model. So what is that? Yeah. So what are the limitations of a waterfall methodology and why they are moved from uh, why they are moved from that waterfall model to agile methodology? What is that? No working software is produced until the late during the life cycle because of every 6 months or every 1 year. And once an application is in testing stage, it is very difficult to go back and change something that was not well throughout in the concept stage. These also a limitations. High amounts of risk and uncertainty. And not a good model for the complex and object-oriented projects. And not suitable for the projects where the requirements are at moderate and high risk of the changing. These all are the limitations of the waterfall model. So then a agile methodology came into the picture. So in the agile methodology, each project broken up into several iterations. All the iterations should be the same time duration between 2 to 8 weeks. It's like 2 to 8, 2 weeks is nothing but 2 weeks sprint is nothing but a sprint. We call it as a sprint. Every 2 weeks, we will deploy application. At the end of the each iteration, a working product should be delivered. Right. Limitations of agile methodology. Code works fine in my laptop. What developers is saying, code is works fine in my laptop, wants to change. Operation team, what they are saying, there is some problem with the code. It does not work in the production work in the production environment. Development team wants a change and operation team wants a stability. So what is there is a big gap between development team and operations team. There is a big gap between development and the operations team. They both are work together. The solution is called as a DevOps. A development team, operations team. What is that, guys? A development team and operations team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is a methodology or a culture. The development team and operations team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Guys, now you understood? So before how they are doing in the waterfall methodology, everything through manually. So everything through manually in the DevOps model, the operations team and the development team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. So what is that? So once the what is that DevOps methodology? CI/CD methodology. What is this, guys? CI/CD. What is CI/CD? Continuous integration and continuous deployment. What is that? Before in the waterfall methodology, what we are using? The integration, only the integration and only the deployment. There is no continuous on the integration. There is no continuous on the deployment because of, so once a while once a while we are deploying the application, no need a continuous, right? So once the DevOps is came into the picture, a CI/CD came into the picture. So continuous integration and continuous deployment. So we can use this continuous integration and continuous deployment, and we can use the DevOps development tools and operations tools work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Okay, what it is? Yeah. So what is a DevOps? So in the integration and the deployment CI/CD, we can use the CI/CD and we can use some tools, plan, code, build, test, deploy. So for the packaging, for the getting the code, developing the code and building the code and getting the var or jar from here CI. This is the CD deployment. We can use the Docker, Chef Puppet, Ansible, and Salt Stack, Splunk, Nagios, Prometheus, Grafana. So we can deploy the Kubernetes, we can deploy it. So this is Git, Jira, Maven, Gradle, JUnit, and Selenium. We can use the automation. This is nothing but a DevOps, guys. Who will, what CI/CD provides us? The CI/CD provides the Jenkins, Bamboo, Hudson. These, uh, these companies are providing the CI/CD solutions. These companies are providing the CI/CD solutions. Guys, understood? How we can deploy this application? You can use this CI/CD tools, the DevOps stages, so version control, continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment. So maintains a different versions of the code and the code compile the code, validate the code review, unit testing, integration testing. So this is nothing but a continuous build. And deploying into the build application to the test servers or a performing UAT, that is continuous testing. So continuous deployment is deploying the tested applications on the prod server for the release. So configuration, management and containerization. Then continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring. You understood, right? So in the CI, what they will do? They will do up to this. So whatever the developer develop that code, right? Push it to the Jenkins server and build this server. compile the code, code review, unit testing, integration testing, and packaging work. So this is nothing but a continuous integration, and this is nothing but a, to deploy the application in the IoT servers or a production servers is nothing but a continuous delivery. So who will take care of this one? The CI/CD will taken care by the Jenkins server. The CI/CD will taken care by the Jenkins server. Guys, understood? What is CI/CD? Now you understood when you hit the www.whatsapp.com, it comes from the server. It comes from the server. Waterfall methodology, agile methodology, right? So we can use these and what is CI/CD? To automate the process. To automation is nothing but a pipeline creation for the development and pipeline creation for the CIN's integration. What is that? Simple DevOps concept. The developer develop that code and push it to the server. So finally, end user, end customers will get the fb.com. So requirement and responses coming from this server. So this automation to test the code, build the code, deploy the code is nothing but a DevOps. So the pipelines creation and automation is nothing but a DevOps. So what is a DevOps? DevOps is the combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and tools. Increases an organization ability to deliver applications and services at high velocity, faster pace on than organizations using traditional software development and infrastructure management process. This speed enables you to organization to better serve their customers and compete the effective in the market. So what is this? Delivery the pipelines. Deliver the pipelines. So something like a build, test, release, right? So plan, monitor. What are the DevOps tools? Source code, version control, infrastructure, provisioning, configuration, virtualization, containerization, logging, visualization, so continuous integration, continuous deployment, quality control, automation, development. These all are the develop stages. So what are they? Plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitor. You already know, right? Tools. What are the tools we can use for the DevOps? So plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitor. So plan purpose, Agile, Jira, and the code purpose we can use the Eclipse, VS Code, Git, build purpose, Maven, Gradle, NPM. Test purpose, Test NG, JUnit, Selenium, Sonar, Cube. Release purpose we can use the Jenkins, Circle, CI, Nexus, JFrog. And the deploy purpose, Docker, AWS, Kubernetes. Operate purpose we can use Ansible, Chap, Kubernetes. So monitor purpose we can use the Splunk, Nagios, ELK, Prometheus, Grafana. Okay. So these are the tools we will discuss. These are the trademarks of the all the tools. Okay. And build the Maven, JUnit, code quality, then package it next, then finally deploy it. Guys, understood? So what we will discuss Jira, GitHub, Jenkins, Sonar Cube, Sonar Typo, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Nagios ELK. So we'll discuss this guys. Okay, guys, understood? Guys, guys,
Yes, sir.
understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? Having any doubts? Any doubts? We can discuss. I understood. Just automate the process, either infrastructure automate or something like a deployment operation. So the deployment operate. So we can create the pipelines. We can create the pipelines and we can build the infra. So for this purpose, we need to know all these. DevOps, AWS, Linux. Understood? Yeah, this is a Git, Maven, build, configuration management, Docker, Kubernetes, right? Infrastructure as a code, AWS services, web services. So we'll discuss web services. So where we can deploy our application, we can deploy our application in the Kubernetes, AWS. We will deploy. So right, guys. Nowadays, the every architecture, the every application will be deployed as a microservice architecture. So initially, in the waterfall methodology, they are using the monolithic application. So nowadays, everyone is using the microservice architecture, guys. So Kubernetes is working as a microservice architecture. Guys, understood? Any doubts? Sakib, Siva, Sunil. Guys, any understood on?
Yes, sir. Understood, bro. No doubts.
No doubts, sir. Sunil, Sunil, Siva. Shiva,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Understood.
yeah, understood, right? You already know about something AWS. Sakib? Yep, guys. So which timing is, are you comfortable with that? Our team will get back to you guys. Please let me know your the time so that we'll start the session. So we have a session called something like a free of 7 to 8 and that 4 to 5. So please let me know your feasible timings, guys, so that we will start the demo. We'll start the classes. Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hello.
So will the classes be online or offline?
Yeah. You can come on offline or online. So I will be available in the institutions. So if you come in the offline, right? So
Hmm.
we'll take the class in offline also.
Okay.
I will teach you in the institution, right? You will understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? Okay, guys. Thank you so much. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
please share your feedback. Then we'll start, guys.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.